Welcome students to Biology Made Easy for You. Today we'll continue with the discussion about viral diseases. We already completed with part 1 and now we will move on to part 2. In our previous classes we already discussed about the classification of diseases, how they are classified into congenital, acquired. Then acquired diseases are classified into communicable, non-communicable, and we have already discussed about bacterial diseases and viral diseases. Part 1 we have completed. Today we will continue with the discussion. We'll move on to the first disease, smallpox. Smallpox is caused by variola virus. It has been completely eradicated, but it was a serious infectious disease, and the last case was found in Somalia in October 1977. But now it is completely eradicated. It was a contagious disease, and the mode of transmission was through droplet infection and direct contact. The symptoms of smallpox, as you can see here, high fever and small blisters are formed which contains pus, fluid on the skin. And once the person has recovered, scars are left which is almost permanent. You can see in the image the scars of smallpox. Prevention and treatment includes using vaccine. This vaccine was developed by Edward Jenner. This is a story like when Edward Jenner was still a medical student, he noticed that some of the milkmaids who had contracted a disease called cowpox. This cowpox causes blistering on cows' udders. Such milkmaids did not catch smallpox, and cowpox actually led to very few ill symptoms. So Jenner, what he did, he took the fluid from the cowpox blister and scratched it into the skin of a 8-year-old boy by named James Phipps. James developed only a single blister on the spot where the cowpox fluid was scratched, and he developed only a single blister on the spot, but he recovered very soon. And after a few days, Jenner inoculated the boy with smallpox matter, and the disease did not develop in James. So this was a success. So the vaccine was a success, and very soon, other doctors also started adopting this innovative technique of Jenner. So this led to a drastic decline in the devastating disease. So nowadays, if you see most of the vaccines for polio, whooping cough, measles, tetanus, yellow fever, typhus, hepatitis B, and many others, they are prepared based on this Jenner's model. Now we will move on to the next disease, chickenpox. Chickenpox is caused by varicella zoster virus. Again, the mode of transmission is similar, droplet infection and direct contact. And the symptoms are mild fever, loss of appetite, body ache, headache, tiredness, rashes. But here the main difference between smallpox and chickenpox is, in smallpox the scars are there permanent, but here no scars are left. The rash may initially show up in the chest region and back region, and then face. Then later on it spreads over the entire body, including inside the mouth, eyelids and the genital area. Typically, chickenpox doesn't cause permanent scarring on its own, but scars will form when chickenpox blister becomes infected by a bacterial infection. Prevention and treatment Varicella vaccine is available, which has to be given to prevent chickenpox. We'll move on to the next disease, mumps. Mumps is caused by paramyxovirus, and the mode of transmission again is droplet infection. And symptoms includes painful swelling of the parotid glands, which are the salivary glands. It swells up and leads to the painful condition. And it can be prevented by using the MMR vaccine, the measles, mumps, rubella vaccine. Now we'll move on to the next disease, measles. It's caused by the rubeola virus, and the mode of transmission is droplet infection. Symptoms includes reddish rashes appear on the back, neck, and it spreads all over the body. Sore throat, reddening of eyes, and sensitivity to light, and spots appear on the lining of the mouth. It's also called Koplik's spot. Measles can be prevented by using MMR vaccine. Now we'll move on to the next disease, German measles. This is caused by rubella. Measles is caused by rubeola, whereas German measles is caused by rubella. And the mode of transmission again is same, droplet infection and direct and indirect contact. And symptoms include rashes. Big, bright red rashes begins on the face and spreads rapidly to other parts of the body. But the rashes are fainter when you compare it to the measles. And prevention and treatment again is through MMR vaccine. MMR vaccine can be given to prevent measles, German measles. But we have to remember that these vaccines should not be given to pregnant women, especially MMR vaccine shouldn't be given to pregnant women because it can lead to adverse effects on the fetus. Now we will move on to the next disease, yellow fever. Yellow fever is caused by flavivirus. This flavivirus is an endemic among the monkeys that live in the tree tops of jungle, the jungle canopy in many parts of Africa and America. So travelers who travel there may get infected. So it's advised that whoever travels should be immunized. So yellow fever actually gets its name because of its symptoms. Its symptoms is similar to that of jaundice-like symptoms. That's why the name yellow fever is given. And the mode of transmission is by the bite of the vector Aedes aegypti. When this Aedes aegypti sucks blood from the infected monkeys, and then when it bites a normal human being, it transmits the virus from the monkey to human being. Human to human transmission is rare. It mainly spreads through mosquito bite. And prevention and treatment, yes, vaccination is available, yellow fever vaccine that has to be administered. And the symptoms, if you see, the skin and whites of the eye gets a yellow tinge. That's why the name yellow fever. Now we will move on to the next disease, SARS, severe acute respiratory syndrome. It's caused by the coronavirus, and the mode of transmission is droplet infection, direct indirect contact, and the symptoms include trouble in breathing, dizziness, sore throat, headache, fever, chills, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. It enters through the respiratory tract and reaches the lungs and starts affecting the lungs, alveolar part of the lungs. And the diagnosis is mainly done through PCR, polymerase chain reaction test. And it's similar to the COVID-19 pandemic which is prevalent now. So how can we prevent this disease? By frequently washing hands with sanitizer or alcohol based disinfectant, wearing mask, social distancing from the suspects, wearing gloves while handling any infected body fluids. And treatment, regarding treatment, drugs do not work against virus, especially this virus. Drugs don't act. Antibiotics are given to treat the symptoms, and there is no vaccine for this disease. Prevention is better than cure. Now we will move on to the next disease, swine flu. It is caused by the H1N1 virus, and the mode of transmission is from pigs. Actually, it was present in the main reservoir, animal reservoir was pigs, and it has somehow spread to human beings. And the symptoms include cough, fatigue, body ache, fever, chills, and sore throat. And there is an indigenous vaccine. H1N1 vaccine is available. It can be given to prevent the disease. Next, we move on to the genital herpes. It is caused by the virus herpes simplex, and it's a sexually transmitted disease. So the mode of transmission is sexual modes, and the symptoms include fever, headache, pain, itching, ulcer over the genital region, and the vaginal and urethral discharge. And diagnosis is usually done by PCR, polymerase chain reaction. Next, we move on to genital warts. It is caused by the human papilloma virus, and the mode of transmission is again it's a sexually transmitted disease, and the symptoms include warts which are benign, hard, and it appears like outgrowths with horny surface. These warts develop over the external genitalia region and perianal area. And vaccines are available. Human papilloma virus vaccine is available. It can be taken to prevent the occurrence of this disease. So with this, we complete the discussion about diseases caused by viruses. HIV and AIDS we will discuss in detail in our coming classes. So this completes the diseases caused by virus. In the next class, we'll talk about protozoan diseases and diseases caused by helminths. Students, if you like the video, kindly like it, share it, and subscribe it. Thank you.